win. Long as you're happy, you're always gonna grin. You get out what you put in. You get out what you put in. Never gonna lose, never gonna win. Long as you're happy, you're always gonna grin. You get out what you put in. You get out what you put in. You get out what you put in. Good afternoon. We got Nat and Ben. How the devil are you guys?
We're good, thank you.
Really good. Yeah.
Just admiring that song.
Yeah.
Oh, that's my song. I wrote that.
Yeah. I
actually
actually said that
singing?
sounds like
Didn't
Ashley
realise.
singing. Yeah.
It is actually singing. It's a song that I wrote years and years ago. And it's all about being positive, as you probably heard with the lyrics. And it's called Full Cup. And so when I was thinking of a name for my business, I thought, oh, I can call it Full Cup.
It was just one of those moments we both were like, is that actually singing?
Yeah, no, it is. It is actually me singing. Nat and Ben, how the devil are you guys? Lovely to see you.
Yes,
Yeah,
and
likewise,
you.
yeah,
We're
all
good, yeah.
Oh, I can't wait till Accountex.
I know.
Oh.
It's gonna be so much fun. So we're on a stand together, which is incredible. But for people that don't know you, come on, tell us a little bit about you and what you do and how you help our amazing community.
You can go.
Cool. Oh, thanks, Nat. Okay. So we are we're a payroll business or payroll bureau, but we are dedicated in the fact that our client is an accountant. So rather than like a traditional payroll bureau where we might go out and deal with the business owner or the end client, our remit and our service is actually geared and tailored to accountants themselves. So accountants that have a bank of clients that are looking to house that bank of clients or can't service that bank of clients or have a problem with that, we take over the whole client base and effectively become the accountant's own payroll department. That's what we do.
And I'm guessing you white label that so that the end client wouldn't even know.
No,
we don't like that word. Ooh.
No, that's one of the things where we're quite strong on. We don't actually white label. We have done that in the past, haven't we? And we just found it very challenging to handle as we grew as a business, working with multiple partners. And it's very hard to build any form of relationship with the end client without being transparent around who we are.
Right. Okay.
Yeah, we're very transparent. The end client knows that we're Payroll Sorted. They know that we're partnered with the accountant and they work with us directly. The whole idea is the accountants are still involved in the payroll, but not as far as actually doing it themselves. They've still got access into everything they need, but without having to deal with the day-to-day kind of comms.
People or clients or people in general like to know where their data is. So trying to go down the whole white label and
it makes a lot of sense.
It doesn't quite fit in this day and age too well. So the transparent approach is certainly what we prefer.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, fantastic. And talking to accountants as I do and bookkeepers, they hate payroll, don't they? they hate payroll, and it's not payroll's fault. It's the clients. They've got so many diverse staff, and you're still doing weekly, aren't you?
Yeah.
We have not too many weekly clients. Yeah, we're in the hundreds of weekly payrolls that we run. Yeah,
that's a lot of work, isn't it? And for a small accountant or a bookkeeper, you don't need that hassle every week. You're never going to get a holiday, are you?
No, that's one of the most common things we hear, isn't it? It's just not necessarily even their in-house payroll team. If they've got two people running payroll and one person is off sick or on leave, then it just leaves one person in-house to manage the workload that two people are brought in to do. It's a juggling act. It's hard. It's one of the most common reasons, especially if the business owner's doing the payroll as well.
100%. We actually hear some of our clients before working with us, they wouldn't actually take on the work, even if the accounts work looked fantastic, or they wouldn't take it on because it purely had a weekly payroll and they didn't want to be chained to being able to service that weekly payroll week in, week. So yeah, by finding us, they can offload that burden, and we can sometimes help them with running the weekly payroll.
No, fantastic, and it's just a nightmare of a role. So you're making life easy for our accountants and bookkeepers, aren't you?
Not so much as.
Yeah.
But you've got, but because you've got the scale, it becomes easier, doesn't it? If one or two of your staff are off because you've got so many, then the job all still gets done. That's all factored into what you do, isn't it?
Yeah, that's all we do. So we're not trying to juggle doing payroll with bookkeeping with that and other stuff. We're solely dedicated on the payroll service, which allows us to focus on and find the systems and the processes to make it work. Yeah.
And are you working with any accountant, or is just the top 50, or is it the small ones? How does all of that work?
Everything and anything, any shape and size, really. Yeah,
Yeah,
absolutely
at the moment.
anything. We have some big multi-firm top 50 practices that we work with, and then everything down to sole practitioners with 1 or 2 clients. I think our biggest accountant is in the region of 350, 400 clients we look after on their behalf, and everything in between. Yeah.
Yeah, no, that's an awful lot of work. So what challenges are you seeing accountants have at the moment?
Well, that's a good question. We were actually talking to one of our partners this week about that, because he's actually one of our good friends as well. And he was saying one of the struggles he has is actually recruiting people. And that's a challenge we have as well, isn't it? In the payroll industry, it's hard, and accounts industry, I think it's really hard to find good people. So that's one of the hardest things. And also just managing client expectations. So I think everyone expects an instant answer these days. And so when you're maybe a small practice or you haven't got a huge team behind you, especially when it comes to payroll, people want instant answers and responses, and it's really hard to manage. So I think that's kind of 2 key things that I picked up from that.
The recruitment market definitely does seem to be straight again. We speak to our accountants a lot as well, and some of the stuff that we're hearing, one, it's definitely a candidate-led market. For whatever reason, the market is slow out there, and we obviously, where we are doing payroll as well, and obviously some of the payroll on behalf of our accountants, we're seeing where there's not much talent out there, that the talent is and the good candidates are, being able to force stuff through. I've never seen, like, signing on bonuses. These are people joining accountancy firms, good candidates, and they're demanding a signing on. Yeah, and they're getting them as well, because they're in such short supply. So yeah, absolutely. I think recruitment and then the time as well, because the time that it's spent recruiting, it all goes hand in hand as well. So yeah, that's what I guess from our point of view would say.
Yeah, that's what we hear the most, I think.
No, I'm hearing it too, and I work an awful lot with accountants and bookkeepers, but I also work with other industries, and it's endemic. It's pretty crazy, isn't it? What solutions do you see for accountants trying to recruit? What sort of things are you seeing them do? What's working for some of them?
If we have our sales hat on, then I guess the best
use people like us.
use people like us to offload some of it. Yes, certainly. We had an accountant come on. We started working with in the last quarter or so. They were really struggling to recruit. Resource was a massive issue, and by being able to offload the payroll work to us, they'd be able to have a reshuffle internally and actually free up the resource, where offloading the payroll to us in safe hands, rejiggled it, and I think they had an issue on the bookkeeping. They've now retrained the person that was sort of helping out with the payroll. So
most of our partners are offshoring as well, aren't they? So
we're hearing a lot more of that as
bookkeeping
well.
side of things. So looking at having like a team member in the Philippines or in India or something like that, and that a lot of them are doing that, just to help cover that sort of skills shortage, really, isn't it?
And I think there's some great suppliers out there on the offshoring side as well. Lots of them typically mentioned in the accountancy forums, and there's some really good ones out there that we know as well, that they do a good job, and a lot of our accountants use them. And yes, I think if they are really struggling to find a UK people, then there's always them options.
I think offshoring, outsourcing, and all those sorts of things used to be dirty words. A while back. So I've been in this space now for nearly 16 years, and back then it really was a dirty word. But now it's sort of like, well, we either do that or we close the doors.
Yeah, it's definitely becoming more normal and acceptable to do it. I think there are still challenges around it, though, and especially if a client has been with an accountant for a long time, they can sometimes feel a little bit uncertain when they say, right, we're going to start working with a third party to deliver this aspect. But it's how you position it to the end client that makes the real difference, doesn't it? To explain the reasons why, what benefits there are from doing it, and then typically it runs fairly smoothly in the first few months. But once you do it, it then becomes the new norm, and everyone just gets used to doing it that way. And it's just more of a fear than anything, I think, people have.
We don't know. So what we don't know scares us, doesn't it? And I think once you start working with somebody, I know one of my clients definitely works with you and absolutely raves about you. And basically you saved his marriage because his wife was doing the payroll. And it's just stressful, isn't it? Yeah. And I think we don't realize in our little business what we do
that because it impacts other things, doesn't it?
Mhm.
Yeah. So he's there trying, she's there trying to do the payroll, and it's a stress this week. So they start arguing, or I'm paraphrasing. This doesn't happen, but you can imagine it, can't you?
Yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah.
And we don't have to worry about this anymore.
Yeah.
And that's the sort of thing you offer. So here's a question for you: how on earth, or why on earth, did you get into payroll?
God knows. I ask myself that a lot. I fell into, so I just came to work here, was it 6 years ago? 7 years ago? I don't know. It feels like a long time.
Feels longer.
I actually just came post to having my children to just get a part-time job after a career in the sort of service world. And it just went from there. We've just grown so quickly over the last sort of 5 years, haven't
It's
we?
gone crazy,
That,
yeah.
I don't know how I ended up here, but that I stayed.
Excellent. You think you might like it?
Yeah, sometimes. No, I love it. It's very deadline driven. It is working in payroll, I think, is very undervalued. And I think in the accounting industry, I just feel like it is one of those relentless jobs where if you just have deadlines all the time, weekly, monthly, at year end, it's I just think it's a very hard industry, but it's a good one to get into, and it's a great career path for people as well. I think it's
Absolutely.
lots of opportunity.
No, fantastic. Good. Right, we need to talk. I've got a comment coming in. Someone here is saying, not me, I try and stay far away from it. So someone here doesn't like payroll. I can't see your names. If you want a name check, then drop your name in. But that's the thing, isn't it? And so before we go on to what I was going to say, payroll. Okay, here I am. I'm running my small practice. Okay, I've got my wife doing the payroll, and we argue every Friday because that's when we send the checks out, or whatever it is payroll does. It's all electronic now. I'm so old. I can remember I used to be a chef, and I used to be in London, and I used to go into on a Friday morning at about 11 o'clock. We used to go into the staff canteen, and the pay clerk would be there with the manager or something, and they'd give us an envelope. And in that envelope was £48.50, and that was my weekly wage.
Wow.
So yeah, absolutely. So yeah, we're going back a little while now, and now it's just, you never see money, do you? Because it all goes in electronically, or your bills are paid by direct debit. Use a plastic card, and I used to have £48.50 in real notes. It's amazing. It's amazing. So anyway, here I am in my small practice, and I thought, what do I do? How does it all work? How do I sign up with you? How do you speak to my clients? What's the sort of the things that I need to worry about, and what do you do to stop my worry?
Great question. Probably too long to cover off on here, the ins and outs of it. What we have done to cover that exact question is it's a big consideration for somebody in this hypothetical situation. Husband and wife team have built their business, and now they're looking to free up some time or free up some stress with the view of offloading them clients. So our website, we revamped our website about 18 months ago, and it was after me reading a book, and we had the purpose of designing the website to be the most informative website that we could actually get out in the market.
What's the book? They ask, you answer.
100%, yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. Isn't he amazing?
Oh, fantastic. So we took the principle of, take the swimming pool business, and we applied the same principle for our payroll business. So yeah, we have on there some, we have a discovery call. We actually recorded Nat doing a discovery call. It's a 20-minute discovery call. That alone is worth its weight in gold when an accountant can watch that and answer that question that you just asked me. But on the side of that, we have, so I think it's like 65 or 75 sub videos as well. So covering off hypothetical situations. Yeah,
all the questions we get.
All the questions. So every time an accountant asks us a new question, we're like, oh, that's a great question. That's
another video. This is brilliant. Marcus will love you.
We'll do. Yeah. So anybody that's looking to it, we not have to sell our service. Everything's on there. We're nice and transparent. We talk about who it does work well for, some of the accounts it doesn't work well for, and we cover the positives, the negatives of using us. We try and go into full detail on the website. So yeah, I'd say the starting point is jumping on there. What we've also got on there as well, taking that to the extreme of Marcus's principle, we've got you can self-serve yourself with a quote as well. So there's a quote tool on there. There's a simple mechanism where you can get access to that, and without speaking to us, you can go in there, punch some high level numbers, and you will actually get the fee that we would quote you if you phone up and asked us. So yeah, that's on there as well.
Yeah, and assuming that if people watch that and they think actually this could work for me, then we would do an actual discovery call where we'd understand what's going on in their practice, how we can support that, how we would get them on board, how we'd onboard their clients, and work through that very clearly so that they've got a good idea of the transition process, rather than just going, oh yeah, we'll just take all your clients. We make it very clear what they have to do, what their obligations are, and how our onboarding team would then manage that through to go live.
Mm-hmm.
That's awesome. That is awesome. I've just put, they ask, you answer, Marcus Sheridan, at the bottom of the screen. So you can't read it if you're listening to the podcast, but please go out, and I'll actually put a link to the book there, because it's incredible and it does really make you think. And that's great. So I'm listening to this now as an accountant. I don't have to bother you. You don't have to pester me. I can go and find out absolutely everything, and it's all on your website. You will put a website link into this, so we can go and see that on LinkedIn. But we've also filled out a form, so on the podcast, all of those links will be there. So that's incredible.
If they can't be bothered to watch 75 videos, and feel free to give us a call. Yeah.
and yeah, we can find you on LinkedIn, but we can also find you. This is an exciting thing. We can also find you on stand 430 at Accountex on the 10th and 11th of May in London, Excel. And so hang on, before we go there, Heather Palmer has worked with you for a while. Both me and my clients think you're great.
Thanks, Heather.
Heather, why do you think I said yes when Ben said be on our stand? I am so excited. I'm so excited. I've got to show you this.
Oh God, what have you got?
I got to show you. Well, you know my yellow T-shirt, right?
Yeah.
Look what I've bought. This ain't going to work on the podcast.
Matching shoe.
Wow.
Oh, awesome! Specifically for that.
Matching ones.
I'm wearing them in at the moment, so that I'm not going to be uncomfortable when I get there, because we spend a lot of time on our feet, don't we?
Yes, we've made that mistake before. The
Manchester
Manchester one. Yeah, you had Converse, weren't they, like that? They were bad, yeah. Mm-hmm. No, it's really, we can't wait, actually. Last year, it was last year, when it got this gone quick, we had such a good time there, didn't we? And it was such a good couple of days. So we're really, really looking forward to it. We just need to finish our plans.
Yeah.
Well, you've been doing some exciting stuff. Are we sharing anything today about what's happening on the stand, or people have got to wait until the 10th of May?
I think we can share some stuff. We've got this 4-page flyer going out anyway, so that'll be hitting. Hopefully, some of the accountants watching this in the next few weeks anyway. But yeah, we're going for. Last year we did a smaller stand. It was a cinema, and the whole idea was it was cinema themed, and we got people in the cinema, watched a little promo video what we were all about. This year we're taking it to another level, bigger stand, and the theme is going to be golf. And yeah, we're going to have a golf simulator on there. We're going to have a putting green on there. We're going to have
Ashley's putting green on there.
Yeah, so it's going to be themed around the Payroll Pro Shop, as in like a golf pro shop. Yeah,
little play on words.
I love that. I love it. And that's the thing, isn't it? The trouble is, right, what you did with the cinema last year, all right, is you set the bar. So you've really got to go for it. You've really got to go for it. Have you got a video this year that people can watch?
Yeah, we are.
Yes, we have. Yeah. It's going to be pretty cool as well, which we won't tell that.
Oh, you're not saying that. But I know. So if anyone wants to know.
Yeah, we can't just do a boring screen. Ben has to go to the extreme and make it something quite extreme.
This is extreme. This is extreme. Yeah. So didn't you win a prize last year for the best stand or something?
Oh, I think we got some unofficial thing.
one. I think someone done a LinkedIn post, and I think
top 20 stands or something.
We were number one.
Yeah, we got number one, which was fun.
Yeah, so you've got to do number one this year as well. People are expecting it.
Yeah,
it's different. I think that's what we can say about our stand. Where obviously I think we're one of the few sort of people there that aren't using a traditional company that makes these stands all the time. We are literally doing it from scratch. It's a friend of mine who's got a kitchen business, and he helps make the stand and stuff like that.
Fantastic.
Yeah.
So it will be different. It will be good.
Yeah, definitely.
And the golf simulator, that, come for that. There'll be prizes. It's the nearest a pin challenge. It's a proper golf simulator. So yeah, anybody.
Right. So for those of us I used to play golf. Okay. and the handicap was the club. So I gave up. So a golf simulator, is that like a you and it goes like a video and you can see the ball going and all that sort of malarkey?
It's actually a proper club, proper ball hitting against a screen, and yeah, that's the idea, is to try and get as close to the pin as possible.
Yeah.
Wow.
Wow. Well, maybe.
Yeah,
so we can see who wins, and then someone will win a prize. You're not allowed to play those. You're the most competitive person I've ever met. So yeah.
Someone's got to set the bar.
You can do that, Ashley.
Yeah.
Well, if I do, it's gonna go somewhere. If I do it, so it's really, I'll stick to the putting green. I know why you've picked the putting green. Right, really, really important question. Good swag.
Heather,
it's where the budget stretches that far at the moment.
So Heather, let's put it back to Heather. What would you call good swag?
Yeah, what is good swag now?
Yeah,
what do you think about that?
I have told you before, but I haven't said it live on any of this. But when we first did our first ever Accountex, I was with Thomson Reuters. Okay, and back then we were called, all the sales guys were called into the meeting. We were having a meeting about, this is how it's going to work. And it was the first time we'd ever done Accountex as well. And it's got to be 12 years ago. It was ages ago. Right. You all have to wear dark suits and you all have to wear a white shirt and you're all wearing these ties. And we were all on this stand in suits, white shirts, and these orange corporate colored ties. Like, oh my God, how things have changed. Here I am with my yellow Converse.
Yeah.
Isn't it hilarious? But we had one of those coffee machines, like a Tassimo or a whatever, with the little pods. And there was one guy put his hand in the pod and just thought, oh, sweets, I'll have those. And he thought that was the swag.
You wouldn't believe it. Some people were quite cheeky. We had on our stand last year, we had ice creams and we had a freezer with ice cream. And we were handing them out freely, but some people would just walk in and go in.
Coming in with a bag, loading their bag up with these ice creams.
Take it over to other stands of other people. It's quite
funny.
Yeah.
Swag crazy people get, don't they?
It was quite amazing.
So Heather's come back. Oh, keep up with auto entries. Theirs is amazing. Love a good notebook and pen. Yeah.
Yeah, maybe we've got loads of pens. Yeah, we need to come up with something.
People still write nowadays?
I've got a pen right
here.
Yeah.
So what else are we doing on this stand?
So what else? So we've got the putting green, the nearest the hole. We've got the cinema bit. So it's not actually going to be a cinema, but a movie. And then we're just going to have as many of our team as we can get on the stand as well.
So any questions that they've got,
Yeah, obviously you'll be there, and I think you mentioned you want to do some sessions on there.
So I'm going to be doing on the flyer that you're sending out. I will be doing a 10-minute review of people's LinkedIn profile, so they can come.
One say of our partners, they'd like to take you up on that. By the way.
All right, okay. And the other exciting thing is I'm actually speaking at Accountex as well. So I'll be up on the stage talking about LinkedIn. But so people can come, they can have 10 minutes with me, and I'll go through their profile and go, oh, this is good, that's not so good. You need to do this, you need to think about that. And so we've got a little space on the stand, so I can do that with them. And so I'll also have some of my books with me.
Yeah, nice.
So there we go. That book to help people with their content. So so it's gonna be good fun. I'm so excited. I do love Accountex. I missed it for a couple of years because of COVID. I was still worried about COVID last year, so I didn't go last year. Do you realize next week is 3 years since we went into lockdown, and it just seems so alien now thinking about it.
It does. Honestly, I think that was the most stressful time we've ever had, wasn't it? Because we took on a partner. Literally, they said, want to go live almost the week before everything locked down. And then furlough kicked in and we took on about 300 payrolls in the space of 2 months with furlough.
Wow. But you weren't you, I can't think what they called it, but like nurses and doctors.
Yeah.
Sorry?
Key worker.
Yeah,
that's the word, Key worker. It's gone out of my vocabulary, but it was in everybody's vocabulary. How can I be a key worker? Yeah, I could do that. Yeah, I'd be a key worker.
Yeah, no, we went home for a couple of months and everyone worked from home, didn't we? And then everyone actually started asking to come back into the office. So anyone that wanted to came in, and anyone that didn't could work from home. But yeah, it's obvious, that was one of the biggest changes for us actually, because prior to COVID, everyone was office based, weren't they?
With no remote working.
Yeah.
And we have a great, that's how we've managed to help scale our business. We've got some fantastic people that work from home. Obviously, it's a full time, but yeah, that forced us down the route of.
Which just opened up the really resource pool for us, didn't it? Because now we have people all over the country, whereas before we were focused on Essex.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah, there's limited resource there for payroll.
Some good things.
Yeah, some good things came from COVID.
Look at that. Marianne wants to come, but we've got to pay for a flight ticket.
Yeah.
Marianne, I promise you, it's not that good. It's not that good.
It is a good couple of days.
Well, from our point of view as well, with Accountex, obviously we're going there to showcase what we do. That's not sugarcoat it, but it's a great opportunity where some of the partners that we have, been worked with for the last couple of years, some of them we've never actually met face to face. As much as we get out and try and see these people, this is an opportunity where they're coming and we actually get to see some partners for the first last year.
Yeah, that was really nice
really
last
good,
year.
actually.
Yeah, and that's what's good for the team as well. So our team will be on the stand with us, not everyone, but as many as we can get to visit on the day, and they get to meet existing partners as well face to face, because they talk to them on the phone all the time, over email all the time, but never actually get to see them. So it's a nice opportunity for that as well.
No, fantastic. All right, so you've done a few stands. You've been to Accountex a few times. I've never been. What tips have you got for me if I'm going to go and visit Accountex as an accountant or a bookkeeper? What sort of tips should you be thinking of if you're going to visit Accountex?
I think have a plan before you go a little bit. Just know what you're trying to get out of the day, understand who's exhibiting there, and have a bit, because otherwise I think you can kind of wander around a little bit aimlessly, which is not a bad thing, because you might stop at places you haven't thought about, but I'd say have a plan.
And I think the talks are important as well. I think that leads into the plan as well. Like before we started going there and we went to account, I think the first thing we did was see the speakers we wanted to see, made sure we knew what time they were on, and then almost plan seeing people outside of the talks. Basically, I think that's nothing worse than getting there. All of a sudden, you miss that person you want to see. Someone like Ashley on stage, you don't get to see. I think planning out the speakers is definitely key as well. I don't actually know when that actually gets. Do you know what time your slot is yet or anything like that? Has that been announced? How far down the road is that? It's
another week or so. Okay. So I actually had Caroline Hobden on my show last week, so she announced some of the key speakers. I don't know why she announced me, but hey, but yeah, so that would be there, and they've also got an app. All right, I don't know if you remember, you get to the front door of Accountex, and there was a great big box full of magazines or whatever with all the plans and that. They've done away with that. They're really going carbon neutral, and they're planting 8,000 or 10,000 trees.
Oh, really?
As well. Yeah, so basically one for every person attending. But they've got an app. So keep an eye out for that and let people know about the app, because that's the other thing.
I heard in the podcast last week there's a networking bus or something. I remembered that right.
That's right. Yes, she's having a great big bus coming in, and so people can go in and network. And that's the other thing about going to Accountex. It's not just seeing amazing people like yourselves and all the other providers. It's an amazing place to catch up with other accountants and bookkeepers that you know from different clubs, societies, and stuff like that. And that's absolutely superb. Tammy's all excited, so that's brilliant. Tammy, while you're there, put in your website so that everybody can go and have a look at all of these amazing videos that Nat has been involved in. The other top tip is sensible shoes.
Yes, 100%.
Because you are on your feet a long time. Yeah. If you go to a stand and they've got a chair, sit down and have a chat with them.
Oh, right. Yeah. Also, if you're exhibiting, make sure you have chairs on your stand. We made that mistake our first year, didn't we? We had no chairs, didn't even think about it. And my back was in bits, wasn't it? And yours?
Yeah, standing up literally without leaning on anything for like 2 hours was painful, wasn't it?
The whole day it was.
2 hours a day? Yeah, it is.
After 2 hours, we were like, God.
Oh, after 2 hours, yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, that would be our biggest tip for exhibitors.
Yeah, and they're opening the doors early. So it starts at 10, but I think they're opening at 9:30. So yeah, what you say is make sure that you know where you're going for each of the speakers, because there's some amazing speakers there. Brad Burton's going to be there.
Okay.
So he is incredible. Rebecca Bennyworth always draws in a big crowd. So yeah, if you want to see a specific speaker, make sure you're there a few minutes before and work out where it is, because the hall is huge, isn't it?
Yeah,
I don't think you appreciate it until you actually get there. And you know, prior to that, you see a floor plan or something, whatever, and you walk in, oh my goodness, it's like 2 or 3 halls, isn't it? It really is huge. It really is huge.
You're putting it better than me. I'm sure. Obviously, it is the biggest accountancy show in Europe. I think it is, big now, and I'm sure it's going to be. It's already sort of the numbers there are bigger than last year as well. And last year was busy there, wasn't it?
It was busy. Yeah.
Lunchtime. That's another. Don't try and get your lunch between that time of sort of 12 and 1, because you'll be queuing for hours looking at when we saw the food stands there, weren't we?
Yeah. Also with the speakers, there was quite often that all the chairs would be full, and then people would be like crowding out behind where the chairs were to watch. So it does get really busy for some of the speakers as well.
Especially the good ones, actually.
Yeah.
Do you know, this is the worrying thing now. So like get there and there's like 2 people.
Yeah. So we'll send everyone stand over.
The mum and the dad.
Yeah.
Great.
It won't be like that at all.
Oh, we'll see. But hey, I think we've gone over our 15 minutes. Guys, great to catch up with you. Great to catch up with you. Any parting words before we disappear?
I think so. Hopefully see people at Accountex.
Yeah,
that'll be the biggest thing.
And the stand number is
4:30.
Brilliant. Yeah. Brilliant. What a great stand number, isn't it? I love it. Are we going to do anything at 4:30 every day?
I thought you were going to do one of your things at 4:30.
I'll bring my guitar. guitar.
Oh, you can sing that song.
Yeah.
Oh, what have I said?
Going to hold you to that.
Nat fancies herself as a bit of a singer.
Oh,
you could do some vocals, couldn't you?
Absolutely not. No.
Mm-hmm.
So we could do the one off of A Star Is Born.
Wow, I love that song, but I would absolutely.
There we go. You're on. Guys, thanks ever so much. See you in May. Thank you everybody for your lovely comments, and we'll see you. We'll see you as well, Marianne. Next week I will be back, but I will see you in Accountex. Cheer everybody, and thanks ever so much indeed. Goodbye.
Yes, bye.
Bye-bye.
You get out what you put in, never gonna lose.